Da 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 da. Da, 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 da. We have almost 1,000 people. I better drink this caffeine faster. No, I'm glad you pointed it out to me so I know it's broken. I tried refreshing them, so hopefully they work eventually. Alrighty. Oh, we have a request now. So the last thing we did was place down this new research center. We have 2 now, so we're crazy mounting points, which is great. And we upgraded last time. So, oh my gosh. There's a new class of people. We can have a library, a perfume shop, a post office, a candle maker. Ooh, water ballet. A social club, extra warehouse efficiency. A jeweler, a luthier. High range, small workforce. What's a luthier? Excuse me. I gotta look up what this means. A luthier is a skilled artisan who builds, repairs, and restores stringed musical instruments. Ooh, that's cool. And then we have larger audiences for kiosk theaters that provide a lot more people. And high quality clay increases the luxury of the pottery. Well, for now, I'm gonna go for the extra warehouse efficiency, because we always need that. And then I'm gonna let this bad boy max out. And today we're gonna build our carnival. Oh, look, because we did that, we can, we increased efficiency, so that means we can lay off workers. Why are you sad, person? Who are you? Oh, we need to turn on Twitch integration too. Settings, Twitch. Authorize. There we go. All right, who are you? Why are you sad? Oh, you're not sad anymore. Whoever you are. Well, whoever they were, they're not sad now. Da, 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 da. These are the people that didn't want neighbors, right? Yeah. Wait, they're sad again. Why are you sad? House needs. What? It says you're not connected to anything, but you are. Uh-oh. Something broken somewhere? Nope, it says it's reaching that far. I think the game's bugged. Oh, that newsstand's not quite reaching. Yeah, I think it's a little bit bugged there. I guess I need to build some more houses. What if I wiggle your house? Sometimes that helps. I don't understand. Do you just not have enough happiness sometimes? I don't know what to do. It says that you need some what is it? Wait, I just got some stuff. Oh yeah, these. Yes. Cool. All right, so you want some of this. What if we put a church down here? It's part of the centerpiece for right in front of the bus station. Or the train station, I mean. Or right next to it? We have this stuff next to it. It might make those people happy if we put some more services over here. All right, I'm gonna move these trees. And I'm gonna put a church down. Right here. Nope, there's a rock in the way. Na 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 na. And we probably should put a fence back here behind the church. Because, you know, with the railroad tracks and all. Da, 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 da. And then let's put a little pond. There's a big pond. What is that? It's like a fire. That doesn't belong there. That doesn't belong at the church. Do you have this outback cellar though? Alright, I wanted to do some flowers and some trees. Hello, arrows? Some bushes. Yeah, let's put some sunflowers in front of the church. Okay. Maybe that'll help those people feel better. Nope, I guess it doesn't reach that far. Yes, it does. What is wrong with this house? I'm about to delete this house because it's pissing me off. We should delete it and put a park here. You were sad and it was making me upset. Damn it. Also, there's no ducks in our pond. Needs to come alive a little. Wait, what does this do in the water? Oh my gosh. It makes a little floating Christmas tree. That's cute. Okay, that's cute. Mm-hmm, that's cute. All right, I do need to build some houses though. Should put them up here in the Christmas town. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, stuff got broken when I moved this road. So maybe that has something to do with it? I don't know. Mm-hmm. 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 We're getting so many houses now. Mm-hmm. 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 Don't worry, everybody. We're building homes. Some little holly bushes. I don't know if that's what they are, but that's what they look like. And they're cute. We need lights. And then we need snowman. Everybody needs some snowman. I think you guys need some snowman too. Oh, there's already one right there. That's a little too much snowman. Sorry. Right. Excellent. I maxed out. I guess unlocks the Bourgeois residence building and the ability to upgrade artisan residence. I don't know what that word is. I don't know how to say that word. Bourgeois? Borges? Borgiasis? Oh. It's a new type of class. An apothecary! That's cool. Oh, yeah, no flowers. Because we're in the snow. I guess over here, but oh. Okay, a luxurious city house that provides living space for residents. The sale house is found in Belleville. The Fontabrack one. Oh, it's like a really fancy townhouse. Wait, those are so cute. Okay, I wonder what their like needs are though. We'll come back to that. For now, I just need some of these. Flowers. And of course, we need trees. And then we need some lights. Wait, now I have 4 people? Oh my gosh, okay. Well, those 2 houses filled up quick. And we full. So the question is, if we put, oh, look at all these people walking. If we put a carnival here, where should we put it? Maybe back here? Because I know for sure I want to put one in Fontabrack. Let's see what this request is real quick. I'm curious. Pardon, I finished the statue you commissioned. It took me 11 months of carving marble. Oh wait, you didn't get my message last year? The one where I canceled the commission? No. Well, it's not my problem the telegram operator slept on the job. So long. But it took me 11 months of carving marble. Yikes, that's unfortunate. I could take it off your hands. Why don't you donate your work to the city? As long as people can view my art, that's what matters most. Please place this statue somewhere prominent. On a square near the station, maybe? Or a nice park outside of town. Oh, that's cute. I know where to put you. We will put you right outside the station. Wait, but I want it to be this one. Oh, it's busted. There we go. Nice. People are standing in my way. And I just put a bench there. It's too close to the station, I guess. We have been putting off decorating the main entrance from the train. I think I should replace these with the fancy lights. That looks nice. That's a little better. Then maybe we need like a... That works. All right. Another request. You can't get any writing done with all this noise. I know it's not your fault, Mayor. Our city is simply too bustling. Workshops and people whistling and children frolicking outside. What I need is a retreat, a forest cabin with no other houses anywhere near it. Far, far removed from society. Move the family to a solitary location. What if we put you... wonder if this is solitary enough. Oh, they're an artisan. That won't work then. You require a villa type situation. I just don't know if it's secluded enough. I guess not. We could put you up here in these here hills. Or maybe it's just because it wasn't connected to anything. Let's try connecting them first, I guess. Nope. Okay, what if I move you up here? Okay, that's solitary. You're just kind of far away from stuff, though. Oh, they're connected to stuff. Okay. We should give you a pond. We need a crap ton of trees. That'll probably change at some point. things more. Um, some decorations. Is that a table that turns into like a shelf? Yeah. It's funny. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. You built the perfect hermit's retreat for me. I'll finally be able to finish that 3-volume novel I know I have in me. Okay. Oh, I didn't set the area for the statue. Oh, well. Oh, I want more lighting, eh? What if I do this? Nope, it wants more. More! Okay. You placed my marble statue wonderfully, Mayor. Thank you. Did I ever tell you I worked on it for 11 months? No. It's a work of art. As a token of my gratitude, I'll continue making marble statues for the city. All right. You do that. You do that, little lady. Ladle, ladle. Residents with at least 60% inhabiting is required to upgrade the city. Ooh. So we need to build a bougie neighborhood. Probably cram it in here somewhere or on the other side of the railroad tracks. Yeah. All right. Do one of our big roads. I want it to come right through here. Oh, shoot. Like so. Oh. Provides up to 75 decoration points to nearby buildings depending on distance. That's what that thing was. Interesting. Okay. Good to know. Close enough. Wow, this is a big building. Let's put it there. All right, so it's a public service. What is this? Post office. I feel like we should put a post office in our Christmas town. Oh my gosh, right here on this corner. This is a very cute asset. Oh, I wish this was a better looking corner. It's all crooked. It's driving me crazy. That won't work there. I don't know. Figure it out later. For now, so we have that, and then let's do we'll do a clockmaker next door. And let's also do a pottery. These buildings are a lot bigger than I thought they were gonna be. That's okay. Okay, and then we need woo. And then we need leisure. Let's do on this side kiosk theater. Should I do another pub? No, we already have two. We're gonna get more entertainment here eventually. Perfumer. Let's put you. No, let's put you on this side. I can't. I don't have enough money. Do a dressmaker for now, though. And have a bistro. Oh. We need more sheeps. All right, and then this is where we can put in some roads. All right, this, let's go. We gotta go to Fontabrach. And we need to make more sheep. We need a bigger sheep farm for dresses. For the dressmaker. Da 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 da. That's right, because we have better efficiency now. All right. It's gonna happen. First, a little deforestation, but don't worry, we're gonna bring back some of the trees after we place some things. Right. Where should I put this flower thing? Do 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 do. And these all have this plaza walkway. Let's do this. Wait, where was that stuff at? It was in here. What? I can't build it here? But I unlocked it. Oh, it's because you need to be upgraded. Boo! Alright, we'll come back to that later. For now, I'll give you guys some stuff. Actually, no, I won't. You'll just be sad. It's fine. I need a sheep farm. Ooh, there's more sheep here. How much more sheep do I friggin' need? I think it's in here. Alright, this is what I'm gonna do. I need to put you somewhere where you'll have access to things and be happy. Alright. You'll be strictly a sheep farm. And apparently you need a granary, so we'll put one right across the street. And you need some other stuff. And a fence. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Hello, hello. How was your stream, Red? Hello, Coffee. How you guys doing? Did you have awesome, amazing, fun time? The best queenie? Me? The best queenie? No. I'm okay. You know, I'm just out here living my cute city builder life. Doing the things. Do a flip. I don't want to do a flip. I don't want to. Okay, 1 second. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Ready? I'm gonna do it now. Woo! There you go. I did it. I did it. Fuck yeah! Woo! And the crowd goes wild. Woo! That was amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was just building me I needed a sheep farm. We got a request too. Let's see what this is real quick. I'm a little in over my head. Could you help me out? It's my dream to set up the most complete farm in the region. I'm talking cows. I'm talking sheep. I'm talking a who's a good boy, best boy, fluffy little shepherd dog. Oh, man. No, I just want you to do sheep. Alright, you need a dog. Let's get you a dog. Let's get you a dog. Do I have one in reserve? I do. You can have Sebastian. There, you got a dog. And then you want to have some cows. Okay. Well, we'll edit the farm, I guess, and add some cows. Even though I don't wanna. Can put some cows over here. There we go. You got cows and you got sheeps. We got cows. We got sheep. We got a coochie coochie coo. Go get him, handsome attaboy. There's a good boy farm dog. What did he just say? The fuck? Okay. Sure. Thanks, Mayor. You're welcome. Ooh, a statue. Alright. That's all I need to do here for now. Since I can't build my carnival yet. Not ready for all that just yet. But I just want to get my dress shop running up here. So we can check out this new class of people we unlocked. I'll be lurking while I do holiday prep things, but I hope you're having a great stream. Thanks, Jedi. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate lurkies. Alright, this should now be good. You will do green dresses. Why not? Alright. So where were we? Animal statue. Oh my god, it's so cute. Should put it right here? Yeah, I like that. Alright, so we got that stuff. We need... Oh, let's put the post office on this side. Oh, it's so expensive. Alright, we need food. There's a bistro. Let's also get... You know what? We don't have a bakery in this town yet. Let's do it. It'll go perfect right here in this corner. Then in this corner, I'll put the post office. Once we have enough money. Look at the merry-go-round and the Ferris wheel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then over here. Oh, thank you for head pats. That's nice. I also got a drink redeem. Okay, I got some Pepsi. Yum. I really want this perfumer too. I need a lot of money. So expensive. We have 2 housewares. We have 2... We only have 1 entertainment. I didn't want to put another pub, but maybe I will. Oh, it doesn't fit over there. Next door to the bakery. Let's put it down here on the end, I think. Like on the end. Yeah. Oh, I can't. I don't know. Gotta figure out where I'm gonna put houses. I gotta build some houses over here. Nice bakery. Wink. Yeah, look at that bakery. There's a Ferris wheel. Ferris wheel? There's a windmill. That's what I meant to say. It's really cute. Let's see. We got the dressmaker. Maybe we should also do the hatter. What's this one? Oh, patisserie. Put the patisserie in here. Also put a little newsstand back here. Put the newsstand, then we'll also put, these don't give any luxury points, but it'll fit perfectly right here. Behind the newsstand. I think that means nice ass or something. I don't know. I don't talk to IRL. Oh, I don't know what it means either. Yeah, I don't know because I'm old. And I just don't know things. Wow, I just spent a lot of money. Oh no, what do you need? Cotton. Back to the farm town. We need more cotton plants. More textiles. Oh. Okay. When as old as you know, he's actually not 325, but 32,500 years old. Damn, that's old, bro. Put a farm up here. Oh no! Banda. I just got the only farmhouse that's not decorated. Okay. See this one with the sunflowers. Put you up here. You can come live here. And you will be a cotton farm. can fill this in back here. Ooh, if I connect this, I might have to build another granary. Stub your toe! That's not nice. Does it reach? Oh, come on. That should reach. Yeah. I knew it would reach. Alright, and then we need some decorations. Let's give you a shed. And scarecrow. And what else? Some hay bales? Sure, why not? Maybe some buckets. Real farm sign. And of course, every farm needs a fence. Cute. You can have like a water pump. Yeah. Yeah, that filled it out nice. And then some trees over here. Maybe a couple big ones. Yeah, that's good. All right. Back to Bellevue. So mean. Yes, huh? Yes, huh, mean. All right, so now we can go floop. And you'll make yellow hats. All right, so we have these cool houses. I just don't know if I want to put any more businesses here or not. Yeah, I'll just start putting them along this side. I want to see what the requirements are. I'm assuming they have like way more luxury points they need. $26! That's crazy. Wow. These are so cool though. Cool houses. Let's go ahead and upgrade their size right away. I can't, I'm broke. Okay, well. Either way, they're cute. Do, 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 do. Right. What's your guys' problem? A warehouse. Oh, we need a warehouse. Duh. Oh, where should we put this warehouse? Right here is where I'll put it. Right here. I know you're sad, but you won't be sad for long. Well, you must be having problems. I keep seeing this thing pop up for Fallout. What's the problem? Oh. Yes. That do be a problem. Well, for now, we're gonna just do this. Fuck. All right, now how many luxury points are we at? Oh, we only need 2 more. I only want this post office, and that's 2 luxury points, so. Perfect. We're gonna put the post office in this corner. And then what else can we put? Well, I wanted to put the perfumer. Let's put that too. As soon as you have the money, it's expensive. The post office is 3,500. That's crazy. Well, while we wait, we'll do some decorating. While we wait to have money. Um, we can unlock some more stuff. Apothecary, that's cool. Social club, ew, fancy. Water ballet. That one's expensive, so let's do that one, and let's do larger audiences. That sounds good. All right. How much money are we going for again? 3,500. We're almost there. Let's do this request. The flora of this region are simply fascinating. Oh, how terribly rude of me. I'm a roving naturalist. Pleasure to meet you. It is my desire to catalog all the native plant species in the area. Could you help me out? If you could provide a welcome boost to tourism, too. I don't know the first thing about plants. Don't worry about that. I'll help you through it. Please create a suitably large fenced garden and plant every type of flower, bush, and tree in it. Damn. All right. A botanical garden, huh? How big does it really? I mean, this circle's pretty big. But can I cram it in this little square? One of every type of tree decoration. Fences. All right. Look at this cute stone fence. Oh, maybe we should do one of these. Cute. All right, plant one of every type of bush. So we got bush. Little bush? That was little bush. Big bush. That's a tree. We have a flower bush. Okay. Tree decoration. This tree is huge. Pine tree. Is that the one I just did? Yeah. Large tree. Okay. Medium tree. Okay. This looks crazy. All right, I'm gonna move these. Oh. Like that. All right, I'll move the flower bushes over here. I'm gonna put this big giant bush over here. Okay, what else do we need? Flowers of any type. Whoops. We'll do some sunflowers. And we'll do some regular flowers. And then let's put some mushrooms in here, because why not? There we go. A garden. Feast your eyes on the Festival of Flora featured in our field. Phenomenal. My work starts now. First, I'll spend a few weeks thinking of how to name this botanical garden after myself. Okay. Ooh, big reeds and small reeds. Which didn't actually unlock. I hate it when it does that. Alright, we got a ton of money now. Oh, they appeared. Good. Okay. I'm gonna put the post office. One postal worker. All right. These guys is happy. Excellent. Cool. So now... So I'm going to build a carnival like I wanted to. That was going to be the point of today's stream, was to build a carnival. Instead, I'm building fancy houses. All right, let's see. Oh, these ones are so cute too. I'm gonna put them right up next to each other like a townhouse. Oh, let's go ahead and upgrade right away. So cute. These are so cute. I love these assets. Da, 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 da. Oh, I just placed a random light post. Oh my gosh, you can put a little flower pot on the balcony. That's so cute. I can put one under here too. Oh my gosh. That's so cute. I love it. Let's put a fence around the warehouse. Hi, Nat. How are you? Oh my gosh, I saw those clips today of that game you've been playing where you have to type things and it's like a horror game. That looks terrifying. What the fuck? Town building shenanigans? Pretty good. We're building an uppity, rich neighborhood right now. I was gonna build a fairgrounds, but I got distracted. As one does when building. See if I can squeeze this fence in here. Maybe? Yeah. Doing great. Getting some time off for Christmas. I'm stoked. Me too. I worked like almost 11 hours yesterday, and then I'm off now until Monday for Christmas. Which is pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. The game stressed me the heck out, I bet. That looked terrifying. I don't play horror games anyway because I'm a chicken. But that looked extra super scary. Ads. We need to decorate our businesses too. Flowers. Congrats on getting some time off. Yeah, thank you. I'm very excited for my time off. Ooh, this post office asset looks good. Let's see, what else can we put umbrellas on? Not this one. This one we can. Let's do... Should probably be green. Oh wait, the ad hasn't started yet. The ad is starting in a minute though. I guess this green one kind of matches, but not really. Now it does. Ha ha ha. All right, and then let's get some flowers. For the windows. Oh, we can put this back on random now. Put some flowers at the library. Da, 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 da. The clockmaker. Cute. Cute. I love the flowers. They're just so pretty. Let's come back here. Yeah. At the bakery. The warehouse doesn't really need flowers. Okay, and then we'll go through with some lights. Oh, the door's under there. Can I fit a light under there? Oh man. You can put one out here on the sidewalk. No, it won't let me. Dang it. Um, there we go. That's what I was going for. And then we can put some over here. Nice and lit up. Cute. I like that I could do that just now. Oh no. It's just not really considered an actual door. Back doors need light too, you know? Awesome. We have people. Alright, we got some money again. Perfumer. I can do it now. I put the perfumer right here next to the post office. Like that. And we can build out our next block. So we got this like hill kind of in the way. Ads is over. Welcome back. Whoops. Oh, you need some decorations too, sweetie. This big bottle of perfume on the side. There's not really anywhere to put more lights. It's fine, I guess. $500. These houses are expensive. I wonder if this house will count as by a cliff, because looks like we got somebody that wants to live by a cliff. So it's a red one. Looks like we have white, white, and yellow. This one's blue. Okay, good. He's in the same house, I think. This is like a lighter blue. This one's yellow. Okay. Oh, this is the one I thought was white. Okay, that makes sense. I feel like these two are the same, though. Maybe it's more orange? I don't know. I can't tell. Yeah, it does count. Let's go. They want a dog? Oh, we can totes get them a dog. Dog? Where's the animal shelter? I think I put it in the Christmas town. Christmas town animal shelter. There you are. Alright, we need a dog. And let's adopt a cat just to have a backup. Actually, I don't know if they specifically want a dog. Did you specifically want a dog? Any pet. Alright. Perfect. You can have Ferdinand. Also, we need to unlock more stuff. Oh my gosh. Let's do the social club and high quality clay. Increases the luxury of the pottery. Ooh. Okay. So these guys are at 31! Holy moly. Yeah. Let me balance everything back out. Alright, and then we can upgrade 2 of these at least. Oh, I forgot we can go 3 stories now. Ooh. Oh, I hope I can still fit another house in here. Just out of curiosity. Oh, man. I don't know why these aren't... Oh, it did snap before. Okay. Damn. I didn't make my black big enough. That's alright. I could just erase this and redraw it. How much does it cost me to copy one of these? $7.60. Good to know. That's a lot. Oh no, we're out of regular people to work. We're out of normal townsfolks. Need to build some more townsfolk residents. Thinking maybe up in Christmas Town. Oh no, I'm out of money. I know. Somebody wants a goose? I got you, bro. Oh, I did still have houses up here. None of these are near food, though. That's all right. I'm gonna put you here, and I just so happen to have a goose to give you. Right here, Clement. There you go. One goose. One goose for you. Everyone needs a goose. And you. Near food, eh? You guys don't care where you live. Let's move you to here. And I can move you to here. This can go here. You want a dog? I'll get you a dog. Animal shelter. Look, one dog. We'll assign you here. Then I gotta balance the economy. Alright, economy balanced. Alright, now I can get another house. And then we need some snowy trees up in here. There we go. No, this is the end of the line, so I may as well just put some of these trees in here too. So we could put along this road. Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna get rid of this one though. Excellent. I really just need some workers right now. Well, these guys are 100% happy. Look at them. I have 50. Oh, I have enough to upgrade. We could upgrade. Won't do it yet. Look at all this stuff we can build now. Candle decorations. Ooh. All right. I think I'm going to put the carnival in front of this pond. I feel like that would be good. Our town is getting big. I just feel like, or right here would be good. No, I think it should go over here. We need more stuff over here. Social club, fancy. Wow, it's expensive too. Oh my god, so cute. Oh my god, so cute. I really want to put this in the farming town though, but I have to go upgrade the town and all that. Alright, let's go see what this request is. Josephine. Our bread is the best in town. But does anyone know it? I saw the response to that theater play poster, and we're thinking, we want a poster of our own telling everyone to buy baguette. Could you spread 5 of them across town? All right. Sure. Where's the poster? There it is. Poster. This looks like a good spot. One there. Put one on the side of the hat shop. What else could we put one? Put one in here in the post office. On the actual bakery. Where else can we put one? I don't want to put one on a house. Let's go over here. No, somewhere in Christmas Town. Right here's a good spot. There you go. Great job spreading the posters for our bread. Our baguettes are selling like hotcakes. Ooh, $50. Ooh, thanks. Sucker. That's it. I'm out of houses. I gotta decorate these still. Birdhouse. I forgot about the birdhouse. You guys want a birdhouse. There you go. Oh, you didn't want too bad. Take it and like it. Oh, it doesn't fit on the porch. Put some trees in between here, I suppose. Alright, I'll put some more of these ones. Actually, I'm just gonna copy these. Did I decorate them? Yeah, I did. Oh, I can't tell. The scaffolding makes it look bigger than it is. Another new request already? I'm getting them like crazy now. I guess I just needed to upgrade more. So cute. Put a little park right here. Maybe it's too dang big. There we go. Bush. Yeah, a little park. Cute. Super cute. All right, then over here we gotta do da, da, da. Small tree. Let's do these skinny ones. Then let's get the flower bush. Well, I wanted it to be random, but too late now. Nice. We just need to paint it a different color. Like that, and then we want to get the stone one. Shoot, I went too far forward. And same thing on this side. Except for there. Nice. This can come all the way back to here. Whoops. Very cute. I like this. This is nice. It does look so cozy, right? Alright, we gotta get a screenshot for the VOD video. Meow, look. Come down here and get the post office. It's pretty close. I can always adjust it afterwards too. Cute. Wait. Nick, this says I'm not following you on Twitch. I could have swore I was following you. Twitch is being twitchy. I was wondering why I never see when you go live. I'm like, next clips always look like he's live. Why don't I ever see him when he's live? Now I know why. Damn it. All right. We have way over 1,000 people now. Look at that. Over 1,100 citizens. We're killing it. Probably because they don't stream. Oh. No, it said it wasn't following you, which is so wrong. I fixed it. You're only on the YouTubes. Hmm. You should try streaming. It's fun. Ah. I know it's not for everybody. All right, we gotta find someone to raid. Who's it gonna be? Is Giga still alive? I hope he is. He's probably not. He's probably done. He only streams for like 2 hours usually. Yeah, he's already done. Damn it. Can we just hang out on the camera? Sure. No, I get it. It's definitely scary. I don't know who to raid. Oh my gosh. Let's raid Melly. Melly's doing ponies. We're gonna raid Melly. She's doing some, she's drawing ponies. It's very cute. Let's go check it out. All right. If you're a subby, you're going to use the first raid call. If you're not a subby, you're going to use the Nemo Pops, the second raid call. It's good to see you too, Nick. You have an awesome holiday. No, you keep up the awesome. Oh. All right, everybody. I will be live Friday, the day after Christmas. And we'll be playing some more RV There Yet with Wambat, Giga, and Red. So that should be fun. Also, I'm planning a Castle Crashers collab stream for after that sometime. So, thank you all for hanging out. Thanks for all the love and support. I appreciate you all. Come along for the raid. Say hi to Melly. She's very sweet. And I'll catch you next time. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye. Get the fuck out. Goodbye.